Hey everyone. I thought I would just do a quick video update. I've gone for a ride up into the bush, as I'm known to do, and it's been a long week. I'm a little bit rough around the edges, but I did just want to touch base a little bit. As many of you know, my father's memorial was this weekend, and it started, it was quite a whirlwind. It started on Thursday last, picking up my aunts and uncles, or not really picking up, but just meeting them at the airport, which was really cool. Some of them I haven't seen since the 1970s. So it was quite a coming together, and I met some cousins who I've never actually met before, and that was quite a trip. A friend of mine on Facebook remarked, it's quite kind of interesting that in the wake of losing your father, your family got bigger, and that was really on the mark. That's really what's happened. It's been a really enjoyable experience, quite a whirlwind. I've got a great family, and it was really great to reconnect with everybody and to sort of realize that we'd all kind of been in a bit of a slumber when it comes to these things. My dad's memorial was quite sad, I would say. It had a lot of positives to it, but everybody was, even though my dad passed in December, everybody was finally getting the opportunity to share their grief with one another. And only one of his siblings was able to get up and speak. The rest were just too grief-stricken, and that's really unfortunate. But I was glad that he did. I really felt for all of them. My brother, too, was only able to say a few words, and really feel for everybody. I was kind of the involuntary, assumed master of ceremonies, and I'd arranged a lot of the actual memorial itself. And I was dealt a bit of a cruel blow on the Friday. The ceremony was on Saturday. Friday at about 3:30 in the afternoon, I found out there was a major problem with the venue that we'd had booked for months in advance. The night before, I found this out, and so it was a mad scramble. Of course, by that time, on a Friday afternoon, your normal Chamber of Commerce and all the bodies that you would normally go to try and rent an alternative facility, they're all closed. They've all gone home. They're not exactly 9 to 5 operations around here. And I was lucky to find the one hall that had not been booked, because actually the rest of them were pretty much all booked around here. And I got it booked quickly, and we made a whole bunch of phone calls, and our attendance did drop as a result of that. However, we did actually have, I think, a good turnout. I was actually quite pleased with how everything went, despite the fact that I had this major turn of events right at the last minute. It was quite a stressful event there. I don't think I'm coming down with anything, but my throat is sore and I feel sort of worse every morning. So I've taken an additional week off work to just try and gather my thoughts and recuperate from all of this. My family has all gone back home now. We had a lot of people from far away come, and that was really cool. I was thinking a lot about I've probably got lots of things to share over the next coming weeks. Not specifically about my dad and this situation, but the sort of general concepts that have been brought to my attention as a result of all this, and to do with death and family and dysfunction and what's really important in life and those sorts of things. I was thinking as I was riding today, it's kind of odd. I've come a little bit full circle. I remember once upon a time, my brother and my dad and I would go up into the bush to get firewood, in very similar to the area that I'm in right now. And you'll have to apologize the angle of the phone. I've just got it propped up as best I can because it's a little windy. I've propped it up on my helmet before, but I'm pretty sure it's going to blow off if I do that. But we would come to an area much similar to this and get firewood. And we had to burn 8 to 10 cord, sometimes 12 cord of wood a year, which means it takes generally more than a single truckload to haul a cord of wood. So this was many weekends spent going up into the bush and cutting firewood. And when we used to do that, as a teenager, I used to imagine, as I'm up in the bush with my dad, that some young girl would be watching me while I'm swinging the axe or operating the chainsaw, and just sort of fantasize that, what would she think if she saw me out in the bush, being whatever, all manly. And now, as I go about the things that I'm doing, especially since my dad has passed, I'm a happily married man. I'm imagining that my dad is watching me and wondering what he might think. would be going through his mind as he watched his son go about his business. And of course, obviously, the question about, would he be proud, would he approve, and what would he think? And I just thought that was kind of interesting that I've made that circle in life. In any case, I just wanted to touch base because I had a few people contact me asking how are things going. Most people knew that that are sort of in my more inner circle that's what was happening this last week. So I did want to just touch base with everybody and say it went well despite some crazy stuff that happened. It was, I think, a once in a lifetime opportunity for my family to come together. And as my one uncle said, we were kind of all asleep, and this was quite a wake-up call for us all. And hopefully we don't all fall back asleep. So I'm looking forward to keeping a lot better contact with my extended family and making a lot more trips to go and visit them, and hopefully hosting a few of them here as well. We're kind of on an island, we're kind of out of the loop, but we live in a beautiful part of the world. So hopefully some of them will want to continue to come and see us. As always, everybody, thanks very much for watching.